Live from the sewers, this is the Turtle Power Podcast.
This is your audio source for all the news, reviews, and insight into the world of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
God, I love being a turtle!
Now join your hosts, Ryan, Alex,
Awesome!
and Darby.
Bossa Nova!
Bossa Nova?
Chevy Nova? Excellent!
Now it's time for the Turtle Power Podcast.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It's been a minute. It's been several minutes since we've had an episode, but the stars have aligned, which basically means I'm out of town, and we're able to record a episode of the Turtle Power Podcast. And I am here as, I guess maybe not as always, because if you were always with me, I mean, that would be pretty awesome. But you were with me, what was that, like a couple days ago?
Oh, you're talking to me.
Yeah. Is anybody else on the line? Hello?
Dude,
Hello?
I thought you were doing some sort of intro thing. I was reading my emails. We were down in Orlando for training, and we got to hang out today, eat some pizza, of course, right?
Of course. Like a turtle do. And you did some great training. You're definitely getting swole. I mean, I can definitely tell the some serious gains in the gym. So, no, it wasn't that. It was different kind of training. It was training.
I was going to go ahead and go along with that. By the way,
I mean, you're swole, bro, swole.
I mean, I'm swole. I'm definitely swole.
We had a great time. The kids got to play, and this is what we do now. This is the only time we get to hang out is when the kids get to play together. And
there was obviously a significant part of me that just wanted to be like,
share. You got to share.
Yeah. I was inside. I was just like, all right, well, let's go turn on the consoles and let's go play a couple rounds of something. But then, reality set in.
Reality sets in. Yeah.
And we watched Disney sing-alongs.
Yes, we did. They were fantastic. And you got all the files I sent you, right?
Got all the files.
Yeah. Oh, that's glorious.
YouTube playlist is ready to go. So
for anybody out there who doesn't know what we're talking about the old VHS, like Disney VHSs that, it was all the different songs from all the movies with the little, follow the bouncing Mickey, and they're all on. Yeah, they're all on like I guess I don't know if all of them are on YouTube, but most of them are. And hey, if they were good enough for us, they're good enough for our kids, right?
I think they were great. Pecos Bill was probably still my favorite.
Yeah. Well, hey, I am so right. Yeah. So I mentioned I'm out of town. I am in the land of Pecos Bill. I am in the great state of Texas and the Lone Star State. And we found out why it is the Lone Star State. It's because Pecos Bill removed all of the stars from the sky except for one. That one star for the state of Texas. Yep. And, I'm here doing NASA stuff here at Johnson Space Center. Got to tour the Apollo Mission Control Room, the recently renovated, I guess restored. I should say. They didn't renovate it like they put in like flat screen TVs and stuff. No, they made it they basically brought it back to exactly how it was in 1969. So. Very nice.
That's when Tom Hanks went to the moon. Right?
Yep. That's right. Yep. And Lieutenant Dan.
And Lieutenant Dan and Kevin Bacon.
Oh, goodness gracious. I didn't see Tom on center while I was on center on Monday. So
That's a shame.
Yeah. I was looking for him. I was just poking my head in every building. Tom Hanks? Is there? No? Is he not? Oh, the other building 30. Okay, I'll head over there.
Wasn't he one of the ones that died? Or wait, no. Or was it Lieutenant Dan that died? I can't remember who died in that movie.
In Apollo 13?
Yeah.
Nobody died in Apollo 13.
One of them died, did they not?
No.
In the movie.
No, in the very beginning, I think they show Apollo 1 in the tragedy of Apollo 1.
Because I'm not okay with this right now.
You're talking to a NASA employee. I kind of know this stuff.
I understand that, but that doesn't mean you're an expert in all filmography.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'll take that. I am definitely not a filmographer. Is that a thing? I'm not sure if that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a made-up thing that somebody made up one day because they didn't know what they wanted to be.
So while you're looking that up, I'm gonna touch on a few things here before we get started with the show proper.
The authorities won't talk to us, but they might talk to a TV news reporter. How do I look?
Great.
General, April O'Neil, Channel 9 News. Channel 6 News.
So, what's with the getup? You a news reporter?
In another lifetime, maybe.
This is April O'Neil, Channel 6 News.
April O'Neil, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
This is April O'Neil, Channel 3 News.
First of all, happy 35th anniversary to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yay.
Yay.
We did it. We have a new email address. The show does. You can still reach us at our old one, but we decided to get a little fancy and have a proper email address. That's show@turtlepowerpodcast.com. So once again, you can reach us at show@turtlepowerpodcast.com.
I may be thinking of Space Cowboys, and I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Lee Jones that was in that one.
Or are you thinking of Armageddon?
No, not Armageddon.
Definitely not Armageddon.
Armageddon. Well, okay. Let me
Mission to Mars.
I don't mind. Independence Day, Mars Attack.
Independence Day. Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Okay. Yes. Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. He bit the dust.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did. Well, spoiler alert for the 1995 movie or whenever that came out.
He's still alive in real life, though. We should mention that. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones didn't die. Like, his character, and granted, not right away. He went out like a boss. I don't know if you remember this film at all.
Well, honestly, he was dying anyway.
Yes,
was his whole mindset.
Right. We were all kind of dying. I mean, if you want to, let's get honest.
He was on the fast track. You know,
he was
to be.
he was on the express train. Yeah, to death. Yes, that's true. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't that big of a deal. He went out like a boss. Yeah.
Oh, Gravity. That was another space movie.
Yeah,
it
was.
It was a good one.
Inner space. Nope, that's not one.
Could have been
the Intercontinental Championship.
Alien.
Yep, that's a space movie.
A space movie.
Tomorrowland. Speaking of Tomorrowland, I have been doing some. I've been cheating on you, Alex. I'm sorry to say. I'm just going to come out here in a public forum and say that I've been cheating on you and Darby. And I'm very sorry about it, but there's only so I barely get to see you, and so when you're not around for long enough, So I cheated on you with WDW Radio and TMNT Minute. It's true.
That's all right. You officially caught the clap. Enjoy.
I have a story about the clap and Disney, and I'm going to tell you that off there because it's not appropriate. But I was on an episode of WDW Radio. We talked about Disney and spaceflight, so nothing Turtles related. And TMNT Minute, we talked about baking most of the time. Strangely, no, that's not true. We talked about... they're in the middle of season 2, or I guess season 2, movie too. And I was in 66 through 68, I believe, minutes 66 through 68. That's basically when the turtles show up at the warehouse next to the docks, and they have the big rumble with Toko and Razar, and the infamous pre-fight donut. Num-nums, yes. A little drooly. So I say that one a lot these days with the kiddo. But that was a lot of fun. So I really appreciate them having me on, and definitely look forward to collaborating with them again in the future. Should mention that our website has been updated, made it look a little fancy or a little outdated, depending on who you ask. So you can check that out, turtlepowerpodcast.com. And speaking of the 35th anniversary, there's going to be a 35th anniversary celebration at the Granite State Comic-Con in September 14th through 15th, 2019 in Manchester, New Hampshire. So check that out. And as always, all the links are in the show notes. Let's see. Yeah, Rob Paulson. You may have seen this online, but he's actually got an autobiography coming out in October. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of any of these Nickelodeon resorts? Right. So the original that was in Orlando that went under. I'm not going to blame Nickelodeon, but it's just really weird that a Nickelodeon resort couldn't survive in Orlando. But there are actually two other Nickelodeon resorts, one in Riviera Maya and one in Punta Cana.
Yeah, that's the one if you want to get robbed or shot, and that's go to the Punta Cana one.
Yeah.
And the other one I really don't know, but I know a lot about Punta Cana because Lindsay and I were planning a vacation for a long time. We were going to go to Punta Cana because they have a lot of adult resorts there for adults only. And we were trying to plan a trip there. But then all this stuff started surfacing about the Dominican Republic and everything that was going on there. And I'm just like, maybe it's cheap. It's really inexpensive to have a resort there, which is why the prices are typically pretty affordable. But there's a lot that goes along with it. Yeah.
The Riviera Maya is in Mexico, just so everybody's on the same page.
I mean, Maya kind of sounds like it. I just kind of figured, but I didn't want to.
That's
come
actually
off as
that one's not open yet. That one's coming in 2020. But what's funny is that so they've got like concept art and stuff like that, and it includes not the Rise Turtles. It includes the 2012 Mikey and Korra, surprisingly. But yeah, I mean it's interesting. I don't know. I guess this is the concept of like if you're, if you want to have a adult vacation, but you have kids and you have to bring them with, and so you stay at one of these places. I guess that's the concept. I don't know, but so there's some Nickelodeon resorts out there. You can choke out some Nick Turtles out in the wild. So it'd be really interesting to check out. I'm not going to do it. I've been to one. I'm good.
But I have no interest. Yeah. I have. Look, if I'm going to go to the Dominican Republic or to Mexico for a vacation, I'm not going to a Nick resort. It's just not going to happen.
That's why I'm confused about it. But I guess this isn't for us. It's for somebody. Somebody's going.
It's somebody. I mean, they're opening a new one in Mexico.
Right. I mean, if the first one didn't do well, or I guess the second one didn't do well, then why would they open a third one? So, but one place you can go is to Orlando, Florida, to visit the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secrets of the Sewer exhibit. It's going to be running until September 2nd. So, you know what that means, Alex. You need to make another trip down so we can go visit.
I was actually funny you should say that. So my birthday is September 10th, and Lindsay and I, we've been talking about what I want to do for my birthday, and I've kind of been back and forth But during my recent travels to Orlando, I just happened to notice that they have a Topgolf there.
Yeah, they do.
So that may be something that I partake in. It might be like a little birthday weekend kind of deal where we go to Dave & Buster's and go to Topgolf and maybe, from the sounds of it, since it's kind of limited on time, to the museum.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's do it. So yeah, that's going to be running until September 2nd. So come on by. And if you're in Orlando, say hi, I guess.
If you're going to do it, hey, it's a holiday weekend. It's Labor Day.
Yeah, that's the last weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to say hi back. I'm a very busy person, but it's worth a try.
So busy.
I showed you a couple of, one of my new acquisitions was that Art of the Nick Turtles book that Cira O'Neil put out. I was trying to remember what my other new acquisition was, and I remembered just because I don't have it there. It's the 1990 film figures from NECA. I brought them all to work with me. But yeah, I got all those too. Did you add anything new?
So there's this little place. So it's a variety of things. It has part groceries, part this. It's just a medley of stuff. It's kind of like it was all bought in bulk, like from businesses that are going out of or businesses that are going out of business.
Okay.
So they were just buying their inventory and all that stuff. So they had a huge stack of comics, and there was. I went through a bunch of the bins that they had, and there was some old Tales of the TMNT stuff. There was Flaming Carrot TMNT stuff that I picked up. There was honestly I ended up buying like a variety of comics. Probably spent like $15 on like 20 comics there, and their inventory is constantly changing. But honestly, I have with my daughter just starting school and me going back to school, and it's just been so chaotic in our household. I haven't even had a chance to touch anything. And to be perfectly honest, I couldn't even pinpoint where they're actually currently at. So
I know the feeling. But we'll have to see. Maybe they got something cool at the Science Center. Maybe they got some swag there. We'll see.
That'd be sweet.
So with that, let's get into some video game news.
So
yeah,
this is finally some exciting news.
Yeah,
like for the first time.
It helps that we haven't recorded in several months.
No, it doesn't help actually at all. Not for video game news, because since we started this podcast, we have not had good video game news.
Yeah,
we've had
some
mediocre.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I think the highlight to our video game segment was when we had Mitch Dyer on.
Yeah,
that was probably the highlight to our video game news.
Yeah, that was episode like 10. I think it was like end of our like first year or something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, this I'm super excited about. I've been scoping it for some time now, and oh yeah, I think that's going to happen.
Well, go ahead and tell the people what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. So Arcade 1-Up is releasing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade cabinet based on the original was the 89 arcade cabinet that they released, and it looks the cabinet art looks glorious. Everything looks just as you remembered. It's 4 foot tall, so it's 4 foot high. They sell short risers.
Yeah, they got the riser.
The riser adds about a foot. Ryan would need about 8 of those. Well, I'm honestly probably going to build my own riser or something along the lines of it, and I don't know. I'll figure that out. Anyway, it's nothing new. So the sad part about this is that what's exciting for video game news for me is the fact that they're re-releasing a video game from an arcade cabinet from 1989.
Yeah,
like That's how bad the Turtles. It's not going to get any better. I don't think they have a good enough product to market right now with Rise. Like I don't think that's good enough product to market for any sort of video game console.
Yeah,
that's just what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, we'll talk about something else here in a minute. But
sorry. I had an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here's what I think would be a fantastic option for, because I mean people always complain about not enough. I mean, I don't know why they do this, but I've read some articles on the tournament fighters and how it just wasn't rich enough. It was a very small list of fighters that were available for that, but it would be awesome if they did something along the lines of like a Turtles Forever theme, where it was you had a multitude of turtles from like different iterations to choose from. Right? Or if they did a Turtles Forever based, that type of theme based video game, right? Where you all of a sudden you take over, original comic Turtles, you take over, 87 Turtles, you take over 2K3 Turtles, and so on and so forth, even though they were, kind of the highlights there. But, it would just be kind of a cool thing. Have every single version of the Turtles that's ever been out, 07, 12, Rise, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty sweet.
I think there's an iOS game that, some sort of like RPG that has some elements of that. But nothing like a fighter or something like that. Now, I guess the closest thing to that would be the next item on our list here, which is the Rescue Palooza. And this is not an official game, though.
Right.
This is a fan made. I mean, you have to be more than just a fan to just throw this together. But this is from website merso-x.com, and it's a I guess it's 16-bit-ish type side-scrolling beat 'em up. That 2.5D style that we grew up with. And they really took the concept and just kind of really blew it out of the water with all kinds of extra playable characters, but all still set in that time frame. So in the animated, the 87 animated series time frame. So there's characters in there that were never in the show. Like there's Ace Duck is in there, and I think Tatsu's in there. So they've gone outside a little bit, but they just grabbed voice clips from the animated series and included them in there. So they have the unofficially have the voice actors, the original voice actors in there. So we got a link. So it's only for Windows. So if you're like Alex and I, then you're SOL. But there is a playthrough video online that you can watch, and I guess that's just as exciting. So check that out. And because you still haven't had a chance to play this, right?
I've had a chance to play it. I watched some gameplay on YouTube, and then just kind of read a little bit about it. But I can't imagine the amount of time and effort that went into this. Yeah,
right? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's had to have been a monumental
so vital stats on it so you can get an idea of how massive the game is, considering it was fan-made. You have 60 playable characters, 17 stages, 4 bonus stages, 4-player local co-op, so you can, kind of like old school, all 4 can, I guess, I don't know how it would work local. I'm not a PC guy, so whatever. You figure that out. Improved graphics, voice clips from the TV show, like you said. It has rideable vehicles, so from what I've seen, there was obviously some skateboards, and I don't know if they include the van, but I would think so. And then just... I guess during cutscenes they reference original TMNT cartoon and toy line art, So it's a massive undertaking to just do it on your own dime and on your own time.
Yeah, the time, as a parent of young kids, the time is, I can't even fathom, Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. This is still on my radar. I'm gonna try and check this out at some point. By hook or by crook, I'm gonna get my hands on a PC to play this on. It stinks because I have a PC for work, but it's all locked down, so I can't install anything on it. So
just go to break your PC.
Go to the IT department. Hey, can you guys install something for me? What is it? Oh, it's for research. It's for research for the podcast. Yeah, it's research for the podcast. What's a podcast? Never mind. Let's move on to the next thing here really quick. There is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time soundtrack on vinyl. And so it's pretty interesting that we've had now two in a row, and two different companies too, having Turtles soundtracks go on vinyl. There's and we this is in the video game section, but we've included some of the IDW games talk in here. There's a new version of the Turtles IDW game. This one's a zombie themed. I don't know if it's an expansion or if it's a totally separate game, but this was debuted, I believe, at Comic-Con last month. So.
Yep.
One thing, I don't know if you even have it on your show notes. I just saw it today. There is a Nickelodeon augmented reality app. It's out for iOS, and it is you can have like the Ninja Turtles. It's Rise Turtles, obviously, and you can have them, like fight bad guys, like on the table in front of you, using the app. So, it's so we've got the.
That does not sound exciting. One bit. I don't know.
Any of these augmented reality apps, it's called Do Not Touch. That's the name of the app. But any of these augmented reality apps, they're really just kind of tech demos. I have not found a single AR app that I've really fallen in love with. I've tried several.
I still occasionally play Pokemon Go, and Lindsay and I played Wizards Unite. But the funny part is I don't use the augmented reality.
Oh, really? Oh.
No, I can't. I can't. The games are terrible using the augmented reality.
Interesting.
It's for me it's not fun. Yeah. So yeah, the whole AR thing, I haven't really. I don't know if that's going to really continue to move forward. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I haven't seen anything that's really blown my mind as of yet.
Yeah. One of the, I think he's one of the animators over at Nickelodeon. He does a little demo of it on his Twitter. That's how I saw it. So I got a link to that in the show notes. One last thing here in the video games. One of our listeners, Adam, said he got to play the Raw Thrills Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game in Myrtle Beach. And speaking of Raw Thrills, another listener, Kevin, found one in Orlando at the Universal Studios Cabana Bay Resort. So I think we'll be needing to make a trip out there soon as well. Maybe we can include that in your birthday celebration.
Maybe.
It's actually really close to the Dave and Buster's, actually. So.
Oh, that's where we just stayed.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
Ooh, exciting. Right.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's true. Yeah, you were staying right over there on the old I Drive there. So with that, let's get on to some TV news. I feel like we've been hard on Rise, and because it just hasn't really spoken to us. But I know we're not alone with that. You can just see it out there. It has not caught on like that 2012 Nick Turtle series has, and we have some numerical data here to kind of back this up. So basically, you don't have to dig hard for this stuff, but just want to look at some of the the TV ratings, some of the viewers for both Nick Turtles and Rise Turtles. And I say Nick Turtles, of course, I'm talking about the 2012 series. And, the 2012 series, it certainly, decreased viewership over time. But that's not
normal.
Yeah, that's not anything unheard of.
Your target audience gets older and older and older.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's just the way it goes. It's cyclical. So,
right. But even the very end, the last episodes were still at over 1 million viewers during the finale, right? And
it was rare for them to drop under. I think they dropped under maybe a handful of times throughout the entire.
Yeah, and they were very often into the 4 million, 3 million, 2 million.
Threes.
Yeah, so very often in those in that range, for viewers. That being said, Rise season 1, and of course remember, season 1's their best season, right? You go to season 1 of Nick Turtles, and they're they hit.
I'd say 1 and 2 typically.
Yeah. They're you're over 4 million a couple times in each of those seasons. Rise did not have a. Let's see.
They broke 1 million 3 times, I think.
Yeah, they broke. Yeah, just
3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably ranging between, I would say, probably like 600,000 and a million, somewhere in between there.
So what do we? Okay, so my question is to this: why? Right? Is it the animation? Is it the storyline? The difference? How they're portraying the characters differently? Is it what is it that's drawing audiences away? Is this just a down? Are people just kind of like, okay, we need a turtle break, and then in a couple years they'll resurface again? So what do you think that this is? What do you gather? Like, what are you getting from these ratings? Because to me, this is piss poor. This is not good.
Yeah, no, it's not good, and of course, the reps over at Nickelodeon, they're gonna talk about how it's doing great and everything. That's their job. They're they're gonna talk it up like it's doing really well, but the numbers don't lie. So, I guess due to the fact that they never started. I mean, the premiere only got 600,000 viewers, 0.6 million people. The highest of the entire series looks like it was 1.19. I think that was the highest the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely did the Nick Turtles ever go. I don't know if they ever went below that. I don't think they may have right near the end. Yeah, right near the end in season 5, they had a 1, 2, 3 episodes that went below that. Everything was above that, way above that, typically. So, I don't think it's one thing. I think it's not talking to the right audience, and I'm sure that the animation style is one thing, but I don't think it's just the animation style. I think you can get over that. Art is art. If it's, I think it's all subjective, but art you can get used to art. You can look at video games, right? Video games all have different art styles, and if it's a good game, you'll get past artwork that you don't that doesn't that doesn't jump to you as being something that you really like. If it's a good game, then that's what matters. And so maybe it's story, maybe it's the age that they're aiming for. I mean, obviously, I'm just shotgunning ideas here, but
I mean, it could be a variety of things. I can tell you this: it'd be one thing if it was just ratings, but the toy sales for Rise versus toy sales for the 2012 series, it's a no-brainer. It's not even close.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how you just go back 5 years, and you'd go to Toys R Us, and there would be an entire row of toys of just Turtles toys, an entire row. And now, if you go to like a Walmart or something, there will be just
2 rows,
a sliver. Maybe 2 rows of that age range, but then. Even within that would maybe be just a slice, just a tiny little bit of Turtles stuff. I mean, it's like you'd be walking down an aisle and you could easily just pass right by it and you wouldn't even know. It's very disappointing as a Turtle fan that to see it doesn't have that connection with an audience. So we know there's going to be a season 2. So we'll see what happens there. But obviously there's they're playing a long story here. It's maybe that's the part of it too, is that these are all kind of one-offs with just slight hints to an overall story, a very slowly moving overall story, which is essentially bringing Shredder back in. I mean, nobody I don't think is surprised by that, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a lot of different things. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Moving forward.
It's interesting because how many episodes did they have season 1?
Now they did that where they're all like half episodes.
Right.
So overall, there's 36 half episodes. So like 18, 19, 20, whatever.
And they only ordered 10. For season 2.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it's almost like, I mean, I don't know if this is what I might be reading into it, but I mean, it could be a make it or break it year.
Maybe.
Because
now they do have that thing coming out on Netflix too, which I don't know if it's going to be maybe it's going to be a finale to the Rise. I don't know if maybe that's the situation that's going on. Or if it's going to be, I mean, they were really vague when they announced that it was going to be somewhat attached to the Rise of the Rise Turtles. This movie that they're going to have on Netflix. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what it turns into. Let's feeling a little nostalgic.
Okay.
So we're talking about Rise Turtles and then 2012 Turtles. Of course, what it brought me back into the franchise and brought a lot of people back into the franchise was, of course, that 2003 series, and a big part of that was the lore of the Shredder in that series. So there's a YouTube channel called Leonardo 2003. It's been on there for a long time. He's done a couple of videos on that series. Obviously, his name's Leonardo 2003. But he's got one about all the different theme songs that were going to be in the series. And I remember when they were returning, back to the sewers, and they were doing the whole contest for the different songs. I remember that, and so he talks about that some. And then he talks about the history of the Shredder and all the incarnations and the big storyline. So it was fun going back and revisiting all of that. And you can revisit the Turtles, the 2003 Turtles, right now on Pluto TV. Have you tried Pluto TV yet?
I feel like this is like a really crummy commercial. Like,
hey, Alex, have you tried Pluto TV?
Pluto TV yet? No, I haven't. Well,
let me tell you, it's awesome and it's free.
Whoa, free!
Yeah. So there's a brand new channel on there called Totally Turtles. And it's from what I've seen is just nothing but 2K3 turtles on there. So this is basically Nickelodeon's way of saying, okay, we're going to finally do something with all of these episodes. And so they basically stream 24/7 on Pluto TV. So you can do the Pluto TV app on your phone. It's on PlayStation 4. I assume it's on some other devices as well. But
although that is okay. That doesn't take away from the fact that collectors want them on Blu-ray.
Yes.
They deserve to be on Blu-ray. That's never going to...
Very true.
We're never going to change our minds on that.
No. And I just recently was trading some tweets with Nickelodeon on that aspect. So, like, we're still waiting. Speaking of the TV here, though, what about the future of Turtles on TV? A few things went down around SDCC or San Diego Comic-Con. So Kevin was, of course, Kevin Eastman. We call him Kevin here.
First name basis.
Yep, longtime friend of the show. He was being interviewed by comicbook.com. And it was a good interview. Check it out. And the talk of what could Turtles do going forward on in the TV realm? And he kind of of course, watching this, I'm having flashbacks because I'm pretty sure that we were the first ones. We were 100%. The first ones that talked to him about this. So that this concept is still in his mind, that a Netflix Daredevil style Turtles show would be absolutely perfect.
Can we take credit for this?
I mean, I want to. I absolutely want to. But
gosh, this is what it's like. Just working in the biz.
It's just things
just
happen.
Have all these amazing ideas, and then
meetings and things happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you strike gold, and I think that's what we did here. So we'll take a little bit of credit, just a little bit, okay? Because this was something that we when that's how long we've been doing the show, was that when that show premiered, that was we wanted to talk to him about it because we could see Turtles like in that series. We could absolutely see them being there, and obviously he loved it. So so we kind of teased that maybe we could see something like that happening, and at the same time, right around the same time, a guy named Bobby Herbeck was doing an interview, and he's done work with the Turtles for years, kind of behind the scenes, producing, writing, kind of stuff like that. And he kind of let it slip that something like this might be actually happening, that a Netflix style live action show might be actually happening. So in the style of like the 90s, Turtles. So this is all rumor. Take this all as rumor for now. But the Old Turtle Den has on YouTube, another great YouTube channel there. He does a little breakdown of all of this that was going on. So check out that video if you haven't seen that yet. But so we might be getting some sweet stuff coming here in the future. I think the big thing that Kevin hit on was that. Okay, so when Nickelodeon bought the franchise from Peter, Mr. Laird, if you will, they really focused on a demographic, in like one demographic. They were like, this is the demographic we're aiming for. Everything needs to be aimed towards this demographic. And they were aiming for the, maybe tween age group, older children, tween, maybe early teens. Probably not teens, probably tweens, probably like older children, tween age group. That's what they're aiming for, and boys. That's the only thing they were aiming for at first. And then things started to evolve over time. The IDW series kind of started going off on its own, getting more darker. No surprise there. And they started incorporating more female characters into the 2012 series. And that started getting darker. Oh my gosh! At the end of that series, that was so dark.
I'd rather not talk about the end of the series.
But basically that, and then they kind of and then obviously the 2014. I can't even get the word out. Movie. That was definitely aiming for a certain audience.
Same audience as Transformers.
Yeah, right.
Literally,
literally
the same audience as Transformers.
Yeah,
which is who blow stuff up?
Older children,
I'm so excited.
Fart jokes. Okay. Anyway,
CGI. CGI. Oh wow.
Okay. So anyway, so then you fast forward to the Rise.
Oh, fast forward.
Yeah.
Nice.
Rise is definitely going for a younger audience, and meanwhile, IDW is still over here. The movies are in total flux. They're kind of trying to figure out what to do going forward. And then, Kevin, I think is probably over here thinking, just because you have look at Disney, right? Look how Disney does things. They
buy everybody.
They
just buy out everyone.
Okay, look at how Disney is treated Marvel, right? Marvel does not aim for one demographic. Marvel aims for every demographic, right? They're aiming for adults, teens, young kids. They've got all different versions of the same characters. Whether it's animated versions or more kid-friendly comics, or the regular comics, or then the MCU.
Lego Marvel,
right? Lego, yeah. So they're all over the place, right? They're getting every demographic with that one franchise, right? So I think that's where Kevin's coming at this with, is that just because turtles are turtles doesn't mean that they have to be aimed in on one demographic. That's silly. You've got an entire generation of adults over here that are saying, we still love turtles, but you aren't giving anything to us that we can enjoy, in terms of, a TV show or a movie or, whatever. So, not to offend anybody that enjoyed anything that I just mentioned. Okay.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm talking generalities here.
Organically, if you have content that's going to feed into all that, if you have movies, if you have TV shows, because Marvel had, several TV shows via Netflix or, cable TV, it didn't matter, that continued to bolster the popularity. And so the Netflix shows were definitely darker. They were dedicated for a much more adult-centric audience. They had you're right. They had the cartoons. Yeah. They even had animated movies that were geared towards adults, and then they literally filled every demographic. There was nobody that was completely excluded from it. And look at where they are now.
Yep. So I think Kevin's argument is, hey, Nickelodeon, you're leaving money on the table, and nothing will catch their attention more than that.
What's Nickelodeon got going for it right now? Seriously. I'm speaking honestly.
That's why they're going Netflix, because since Disney's going Disney Plus and Netflix has got a huge gap now, they are going to Nickelodeon to say, we need content. And I think that this is basically, because
they survived off of SpongeBob long enough at this point.
Yeah. So I think Nickelodeon's finally saying, okay, we've, there's we got to create a lot of content. So let's just not all make the same thing over and over and over again. Let's broaden our horizons here, and maybe give people what they actually want. Crazy idea. So,
I pulled them up. Just I'm curious for myself.
Yeah.
What are their current shows running? Right.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. Absolutely.
Paw Patrol's. I don't know. Is Paw Patrol bigger than SpongeBob now?
SpongeBob currently, probably. I would say so.
I mean, it's different age group. SpongeBob's a little older, but
SpongeBob isn't going anywhere.
No.
You have Power Rangers, right? They're always fairly popular.
Hanging out. They're hanging out. Yeah.
Right. You have Rise. You have, and I'm excluding a whole bunch of crap.
They got a lot of live action like shows with
and then they have some weird stuff. Like they have the Dude Perfect show. They have which is like, okay, those guys are great on YouTube. Did they really need a TV show? I don't know. Yeah. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? That used to be on ABC, I think.
Was that on UPN? That might have been.
It might have been a couple Lego shows, Jurassic World and Lego City Adventures.
Yeah,
and then I couldn't tell you with any of this other stuff. Double Dare. And they're trying to bring back these old shows.
Yeah, there's a Dora movie coming.
There's a Dora movie coming. Who asked for a Dora movie? Is my question. It wasn't the parents.
No.
It wasn't the kids. They weren't asking for that Dora movie. So. This is basically, it's just a Spy Kids reboot is all it is.
Yeah.
And then you have Rabbids Invasion, which they were popular thanks to the Nintendo Wii.
Gosh. Man, that's been a minute.
Right. So these are shows that are currently running on top of a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't even know. I have no idea. Alvin and the Chipmunks is the only other one that I know. And I don't even know what kind of version of Alvin and the Chipmunks that is. I don't know who or what any of these are.
Who weren't we playing? I think the last time I played Rabbids was at Artie and Kelly's house in Alachua. That's how long
which tells you how long that was. Yeah. That was on the original Nintendo Wii. And that was probably shortly after it was released.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think this is an opportunity for Nickelodeon, Viacom. I don't know if that plays into it too, but Viacom, CBS merger is going on. Obviously, we're talking kind of big stuff here, but maybe that has some play into this whole thing too. We'll see. But this is an opportunity for them to step up to the plate here. So we'll see. We will see what we get. I think that's enough for TV news. How about we get into some collecting news?
From Playmates!
Obviously, San Diego, there was a lot of collecting.
Meh.
There was a lot of stuff. I don't want to say it was all good. There was a lot of stuff, but so I think we're just gonna highlight some of the things here. So the pizza cutter and spatula set we talked about a while back when it was still coming out. It's available now. You can get it on ThinkGeek. The shredder that's part of that set too. That's also available. You can grab that on Amazon. This is actually really cool. I think I want to get this. Kevin Eastman's website, kevineastmanstudios.com, they have some products that you can purchase over there, obviously beyond, comics and signed, stuff. They have a couple of things of apparel over there. The hat with the old, the original, Michelangelo, they got that over there. But they've also got a 1990 film Foot Clan headband. Like the ones that they, the Danny, he's got the Foot Clan logo on it, like the actual Japanese one, not just like the
Danny,
logo.
that son of a bitch.
Dad, it's just Dan now.
Just
Dan.
Wonder where he got those things.
Where did Dan go anyway? Whatever happened to Danny?
Hey, you know what? You keep reading. I'm going to find out.
Oh, okay. That was a topic of discussion on the TMNT Minute in the first season. So, it's pretty cool. It's only $10. It's pretty cheap. The First Turtle tease is also available over at Kevin Eastman Studios. You can check that out there. This is something I want to talk to you about because I know you're a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trading cards. They are teaming up with Topps to create new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards, and they should be out now. They just released July 31st. What you can expect in a single hobby box is one sketch card, one autograph, and 4 parallels, which count towards a complete set to replace regular base cards. And you can find autograph cards from artists such as Michael Dooney, Jim Lawson, Steve Levine, and more. And and I think I'm gonna have to see if I can find at least a pack or two of these just to kind of check them out. They still have. Does Target still have? They used to have like a little short thing of all the trading cards. I don't remember.
They do. It's significantly larger now.
Really?
Because card trading is so huge right now, man.
Really?
It's huge.
That's fantastic. Good.
The resurgence of card trading, you can thank YouTube for that. It has grown significantly. Pokemon. I just bought Pokemon cards the other day, man. I don't even know what Pokemons are in it, but like, I'm just like, I just want to open up a pack of something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I think it's a great time for them to do that. If it's just trading cards that they're doing, that's fine. I'd say the vast majority are not buying cards to actually utilize them for what their intended use is. Like, with maybe the exception being Magic the Gathering. They're usually just collecting them. And I'm so down. I still have my original animated series cards that I collected. I have a few of them anyway, not all of them, but they I'm super excited I'm stoked. They still have the spot in Target though. If you walk in, it's usually to the far left at the very last counter that's never cashier that's never used, that counter. It's on that side. But I'd say if you can, check out your local comic shop or whatever first. Try to give them the business, and then if they're a no-go, which they may be, then go ahead and check out a big box. But man, I'm just seeing comic book shops like just dying left and right here in the area, and I'm just like, the only way these guys are surviving now is because of eBay,
right?
And all these other they sell more over the internet than they do. Basically, their inventory that they keep in the comic shop is basically they're basically paying rent for storage is mostly what they're doing.
Wow,
which is sad to see. By the way, sorry, so Danny.
Oh, okay.
Because I IMDb'd him. I don't know what he's actually up to right now, but I IMDb'd him just to kind of see what he's been doing. The most recent thing he did was in 2015, so not too long ago. But he only acted a little bit.
Oh, you're talking about the actor.
He was. He's okay. Actually. I mean, he's got something.
Are you saying the actor was actually just Danny? Was that? Was he playing himself? Well,
sorry, it's Michael Turney. Sorry.
Okay.
It's Michael Turney. He's only going to be known as one thing ever. So he actually had a role before TMNT. He was the bar mitzvah boy in Spike, the Bensonhurst. Never watched that. No. He was also in a movie in '97 that I never watched. He's been an editor. He's been a producer, writer. He's actually writing and directing I Know Where You Live, which is a movie that's coming out in 2020.
Wow.
But most of what he's done is shorts and like indie stuff. So let me see. I Know Where You Live. Who will be starring Larry Fessenden, who is known for nothing. Yeah. I think he's just, I don't know. He's one of those, like, I just want to be me, you know? I just want to.
I don't want to be Danny anymore.
I want to do my stuff. He did The Portal, The Little, Normal, none of which I've ever heard of. So, yeah, he's pretty much just Danny. That's all he is.
I'm looking for. I'm on the Topps website, and I'm not seeing anything about the 2019 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I'm still looking here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it yet. So maybe they haven't. Maybe they're running a little late on the release there. But yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for these. Let do the same. Let me know if you see these things, and we'll let everybody know on the old Twitter.
Taking a look right now on Beckett. Beckett's. Yeah, that's You can. Yeah, I'm just. I can't even finish the sentence today, so it's fine. Don't worry about me. I'm
fine.
kind of.
We're just like doing a podcast stuff. No big deal.
I don't need to talk. Release date is September 20th.
Okay, so it moved a little bit. Okay, September 20th. Okay, great. So I will update that. Sep 20th. Okay, great. And I did get a little brief history of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trading cards over at cardboardconnection.com. So you can check out that article for a little history on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trading cards. Brief little note here that NECA is actually going global with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. So for all of our international listeners, stand by. You should be able to get some of that sweet NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles goodness here soon. Wanted to mention this Never Die brand. This is pretty cool. This is they have these. I don't know if these. I don't think these are official. I think these are just kind of done, but they're awesome. They're like they take they're most of them are based on the 90 movie or the 91 movie. And they have like old Japanese writing on them and stuff like that. So sweet T-shirts over there. Check them out. Toka let everybody know that Target has an exclusive TMNT Chibi snaps. CHIBI snaps. Heroes and villains. These are like little suction cup bobblehead kind of things. So I think they look like those like blind bag kind of things. Of course, based on the 87 series.
Yeah, it's that series that they're gonna.
Yep.
Obviously. Yep. Then, of course.
Obviously.
Obviously.
There was that Mikey Batman, Mikey dressed up as Batman from the movie. We'll talk about the movie a little bit later, but that was at Comic-Con. The Comic-Con stuff, like, they put a few of them online, that you can download, or you can try to purchase online if you're not going. I've given up on trying to get those things. They're just so impossible. I mean, you have to be at your computer hitting refresh 1,000 times a second and somehow able to get in. It never works for me, so I've just given up. An interesting thing with these is that these were actually created by DC Collectibles. This was not a NECA. This was not a Playmates. This was a DC Collectibles product. And they're actually doing an entire line of Batman TMNT figures. It's funny. It says San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive only at GameStop. I don't think that's what that means then. But these are going to be shipping later this year. It's going to be Batman versus the TMNT figure bundle. It's going to run $250 for all of them, and that's pretty pricey for a box set. But let's see what you get here: Batman and Leonardo 2-pack, Robin and Raphael 2-pack, Batgirl and Donatello 2-pack, Alfred and Michelangelo 2-pack, Ra's al Ghul and Shredder 2-pack. So that's 10 figures. So that's $25 a figure essentially. Quick math. This bundle cannot ship to a P.O. box, blah, blah, blah. Not applicable for returns. Item in this bundle may ship in separate packages. So it's pretty expensive. $25 a figure. And, I don't know. It's pretty pricey. I think it's a little too pricey. I enjoyed the movie. We'll talk about that again in a minute. But I don't know. What do you think? I feel like that's running a little high.
$25 a figure?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, what's the scale on them? I mean, they're just pop figures, right? Or not pop figures. What are they? Hang on, sorry, I'm on the wrong link.
Yeah, no, the link changed. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. Either way, I mean, they have to be outstanding in order for me to think. And you said it's a 2-pack, though, right?
They're all 2-packs. Yeah,
they're all 2-packs, and they're all. It's $50 per 2-pack.
It's yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Even putting it like that doesn't help it.
One thing that I do want to make note of here. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very important. This is probably the most important thing that we've come across all day. Notice, okay, how Ra's al Ghul is with Shredder, right? Alfred is with Michelangelo. Batgirl is with Donatello. Robin is with Raphael. And Batman is with Leonardo. Yep. I don't know about you, but I think that pretty much says it all. I don't really have to say much beyond that.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at here. Well, Raphael and Robin, they both have the red. Batman and Leo are both in blue. And Batgirl and Donnie are both in purple. So
sure, I guess if you want. I mean, does Alfred wear an orange?
No.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
there's that theory. Right out the window. Out the window.
I got the updated link here. That's back in the show notes there. Yeah, I don't know. Still, yeah, a little much for my blood, but looks like they're not even available at this time anyway. So I'm not sure if they're going to be coming back into. Yeah,
I think we can leave it at. That's too much money.
No, so
we don't really know enough to really talk about them.
No, so you can't purchase the pack of all of them, but you can get each 2-pack for $50 individually. That's what it is. So, yeah, then those you can pre-order now.
Your link is still taking me to Fortnite Dark Voyager pop figure.
Here, I'll text it to you. Yeah, so you can get each 2-pack for $50. You can pre-order those right now. Buy now, receive. Okay, so Robin and Raphael looks like it says release date of September 2nd. Oh, interesting. All right. Still not going to get it. No, that's very sad. All right, so let's move on here. Pixel Dan's got a video on the TMNT Batman figures. Got a link to that. New NECA TMNT figure reveals cartoon / Leatherhead, Turtles in Time, Shredder. It's all from Pixel Dan as well. And new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie action figures, including Shredder and Splinter from Slash Film. This was from San Diego. This was the one where I was just like, no, I'm not even going to try to pre-order those. A Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder figure. This was at Comic-Con. So, yeah, I think they kind of spoiled it for a lot of people. And the 35th anniversary box set that they had there with the black and white mini turtles. I think Pixel Dan even said that those were just repaints of previous figures. So, nothing too new there. Pixel Dan does this whole walkthrough, his annual walkthrough with Randy over at NECA. Super.
Do you have any? Oh, hold on. Do you have any sort of input on thoughts on Rise of the TMNT Shredder and the way it looks?
No.
You have nothing to add to that?
No.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
In 5 seconds, you can skip this ad.
No, 5 seconds I can skip the ad. Oh, that's great. No, I really don't. I don't. There you go. There's the link for the Batman and Turtles. Yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a metal version of the Super Shredder from the 2012 series. A little bit.
Exactly, and
that's the feeling I get from it. But whatever. It's whatever. I have no connection with the show, so I really have no connection with the figure either. So I mean, it's sad. It's sad. I really don't. Though.
Yeah, you sounded so defeated. It is kind of sad.
Yeah,
it is really sad. I mean, there's nothing about that figure that if you were to show me that figure, I would never in a million years say, "Oh, that's Shredder. That's the Shredder," without a doubt. Yeah. The Shredder has always. And you said, art is up for interpretation. It's completely subjective, and so on and so forth. But the Shredder has always had specific identifiable things that like you can pick the Shredder out of a lineup without a doubt. This is the Shredder based on X, Y, Z. Whether it be his mask, whether it be his helmet, whether it be something along those lines.
Yeah, the colors. The
colors.
Yeah.
Right. There's something. This is literally like a copper-looking metal thing. You know what it looks like? I'll tell you what it looks like. Yeah. It looks like it belongs in a 2007 movie.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. I totally see that. Yeah, like one of the stone monsters.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's what they were aiming for, but you're totally right. Wow. Yeah, that's good. Good call. Okay, I can't talk about this anymore. Sorry. Super 7 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive TMNT things. Yeah, that's whatever. The Hot Wheels Party Wagon, man, it's a Hot Wheel toy, and this thing was going for so much money. Like, whatever. Like, they're just I don't know. They're like abusing the fans at this point.
They really are.
A tiny Hot Wheels toy, and this thing was going for, let me see here. It was $25 for this tiny, tiny little toy Hot Wheels. Do you remember how big Hot Wheels are? They're that big. It's $25. Come on.
For people who can't see you, that big is probably about 2 inches long.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not much to a Hot Wheel. Yeah, Hot Wheel, you can get, like, I mean, they've gone up in price since we were kids. I used to be able to get a Hot Wheel for like 49 cents, but you can still get them for like $1.99 in the stores. To sell something for $25 because it's at SDCC.
Yep.
Is ridiculous.
Yeah. Sure they sold out of all of them. Sure they did.
It's a cash grab. That's all. SD. I swear, like big time Comic Cons like San Diego have turned into nothing but a cash grab. And I can't blame artists for doing that because artists survive sometimes off of cons. Yeah. And getting commissions through the cons and things like that. But to this is just blatant, all right, let's move on.
Let's get out of collecting news before we get too upset. Let's talk about some comics here.
I strike 2 on my way down. Donatello takes out a third with his staff. Already the pudgy ones are starting to panic. Raph loves this stuff. He's not alone.
Why is he narrating? Is he crazy? Hardcore crazy. I love these guys! Ah!
All right. So a lot of stuff's been going on in the comics world. First of all, going on right now is the Kickstarter for Drawing Blood Volume 2. Let's see, where are they at right now? Looks like they are probably about 75, 80% of the way to the goal of 75,000. They're at like 56,000. So I haven't put mine in yet. I'm gonna probably do that tonight. I really enjoyed Volume 1. I actually read it not that long ago. It was definitely in my backlog, but I did get a chance to finally read it. And the Radically Rearranged Ronin Ragdolls, number 1 that came with it. So this basically picks up where the last one left off. And I should mention that our friends over at Turtle Flakes did a great interview just recently with David Avalone about Volume 1 and all of the details that lie there within. So definitely check them out. It was just their last episode, so a fantastic interview. And we just got a tweet from Shane Bookman too that he's depressed that nobody wants to interview him. So, gosh, it seems like it was forever ago when we talked with Kevin about the first Kickstarter. So, and the second one's going on right now. So, want to mention this. Rich over at TMNT-NinjaTurtles.com. He did this really long series of articles about the original Mirage #1 production negatives. So basically, it was the negatives that they used for printing the original TMNT #1, and he acquired them and basically went through a whole series of investigations to confirm their legitimacy, and he basically documents it in these series of articles. So it's if anything, it's thorough and interesting. So check that out. Batman TMNT Volume 3 is going on right now. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but Tim Garacki at Tim G 311, longtime listener, says one of my favorite things about the issue was how the Turtles are 4 of the Robins in this story, and which Robins they are is just perfect. But I got to give props to Darby, and the TMNT podcast for accurately calling that out years ago. Which, yes, we did. So
hold on. I'm sorry. I was texting for a moment just because did I hear Darby get props for something?
Yeah, he did. Do you remember this? He talked about the Turtles and how they would all be different Robins.
Oh yeah,
years ago. Yeah. So essentially, that's kind of what they're going with in TMNT Batman Volume 3 right now. So, and yeah, Darby gets to get the he gets to take some credit for that one. I will take no credit.
Everybody gets one. Yeah, everybody gets one.
Oh man. So yeah, we got a series of articles about that series that's going on right now. Stan Sakai, his new Usagi Yojimbo series is now in production with IDW. It's Morphin time. It's mutant time. We talked about it earlier, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are joining forces once again. Yeah, that's right. This time in comic book form. The 5-part series is coming this December from Boom Studios, the producer of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Lord knows it doesn't need to be a live-action meetup, so that's good.
Been there, done that. We got to let's talk about issue 95. I assume you've seen some of the things that have come out of what's going on with the IDW Turtles.
Of course.
Yeah. If you somehow remained spoiler free, I guess maybe skip ahead just a few minutes. But if not, I mean, even if you like, I mean, I'm not up to speed. I'm at like issue 83, I think. So I'm a couple issues behind, but it's fine. I wasn't that upset to hear about this. It's exciting to hear, but so So actually, the way I heard about it was on Twitter. I'm sure, like most people, but Sophie Campbell has made some big waves with, I guess, her and Tom Waltz. I guess technically it was Tom Waltz's original idea, but he worked with Sophie to basically create a fifth turtle, and that turtle is none other than Jennika. So what the interesting thing is, Jennika was actually introduced in issue 51. So, we IDW series, it was taking this huge, drive to issue 50. And we have the momentous issue 50, all the craziness that happened there. And then, they're like, okay, now we got to not really start over, but start a new era of the IDW Turtles book. So, which, they did. And in addition to doing that, they introduced Jennika. And I don't think any of us expected that Jennika would become such a pivotal part of the Turtles story, and let alone becoming a fifth turtle. So, Sophie put out a tweet. This was very shortly after the issue was released. So, a lot of people didn't get a chance to read it in time. But she basically said it, cat's out of the bag now. So here's some concept I did 2 years ago for mutated Jennika, the new turtle, and some fantastic artwork, I gotta say. And the reaction to Jennika becoming the fifth turtle has been so positive and so overwhelmingly positive, I would say. That it was just really good to see. It was really good to see, because, of course we can, we all remember the last time we had a fifth turtle. And, I almost felt bad that it was like, hey, we tried to do a female turtle and it didn't work. And so, I think maybe even Darby even asked Kevin about that. But it was never because it was a female turtle. That was never the issue. It was the series and how the character was introduced, and it just, it was really kind of forced in there. Whereas this one, it was so organic, and this character had been around for years before they. And I have to believe that Tom, when he introduced that character in issue 51, that he introduced her knowing that she was going to eventually become the fifth turtle. So, I'm talking a lot. Did you want to say anything about Jennika?
No. I mean, the only point that I want to make is this is what happens when something is done right. Yep. So in a fandom that is, I mean, we are not, as turtle fans, we don't appreciate change too much, but we're not against it if it's done right.
Yes.
Yes. So, and this is a very, very, very passionate fan base. So it goes to show you that just because you add a little change, they added Jennika, and the way they did it, they took their time. They romanticized the character a little bit here and there, and they really built some sort of an affection or at least an understanding of the character before they did what they did. They didn't just throw it out there, but they're still keeping true, like the actual lore. Nothing's changing except for this. So it's changed, but it's changed done right. When you look at other versions of the Turtles that have been released even recently, it's change done wrong. This is change done right, and the fan base has been incredibly accepting. It has. I mean, I don't think it didn't feel like it was done intentional, intentionally just because she was a female. Like, this is just the way it ended up happening. It was so organic. It just happened naturally. Yep. It was, for the sake of a very brief spoiler, it wasn't even like it was like it wasn't even cheesy the way it happened. Like, oh, mutagen fell on her or something along the lines of that. No, it was like a transfusion.
Right. Yes.
Right. She needed to stay alive.
Yep.
And was it? I think it was Leo.
Yeah, it was.
It was Leo that did a blood transfusion to her.
Yeah, they were going to use some mutagen, but it was unavailable, and so the only way to keep her alive was to basically get mutagen out of the blood of one of the turtles, and so that they was either that or let her die, and so they decided to make an executive decision, and
she was already an experienced fighter beforehand, so we don't have to go through this entire. I mean, there's still a training process that's gonna take place, but she was already a pretty efficient fighter before that, so she can pretty much just jump right in. It's perfect. Yeah.
So we got an article about 10 things you need to know about the fifth turtle, Jenica. Got a article from CBR.com. Also news is that Sophie is going to be taking over the reins for TMNT starting with issue 101, writing and drawing the next storyline. That doesn't mean that Tom's out of the picture. He's going to be around still, but it's exciting to know that, at least to know that we're moving forward past 100, because there was certainly no guarantee that was going to happen. This is already the longest running series in Turtles history, so it's good to see that we're moving forward. Sophie Campbell, the co-creator of the female turtle Jenica, will take over writing duties on TMNT beginning with issue 101. In addition, she will draw the next new arc of the series following the conclusion of City at War. Campbell will be familiar to fans of IDW's Turtles series, most notably for drawing the Northampton story arc, among other issues for the franchise. That's from comicbook.com. And I did want to mention this too. This was from... gosh, I don't even remember when we had Bobby Curnow on the show. It was a long time ago. But Bobby did put out a note here saying things are still being developed and figured out, but here's how it's looking. Sophie will be what I'm calling lead creative in 2020, starting in December's 101, meaning she'll be writing and drawing the first story arc. It's to be determined if she continues to draw beyond that for the rest of the year, but she'll, at a minimum, be involved in guiding the story for the rest of the year. Tom and Kevin and I will be giving notes on outlines, making suggestions, and helping to develop the big picture story as always. That doesn't mean Tom is out of scripting either. The idea is that Tom will script 5 to 6 issues a year, either as extra issues of the ongoing or in the form of miniseries. That's still to be determined until Tom finishes 100 and takes a much-deserved little break. Then, when 2021 comes along, we'll likely have a new quote-unquote lead creative, ideally a writer-artist, but again, with Tom, Kevin, and I contributing. We'll see. I'm struggling to see much beyond 100 at this point, as that's taking up most of their day-to-day duties. The general idea with this approach is to allow Tom and Bobby and Kevin to recharge a bit after 100 issues and inject some new blood and ideas into the series from trusted TMNT creators. I love that concept, by the way, while still maintaining consistency and continuity. I'm sure the series will feel different to a degree, but it's my hope that it will be consistent enough that folks who have been with us for a while won't be put off. We don't want to make 101 a jumping off point. If our series has a motto, it's change is constant. So you're going to get some of that moving forward. But I know Sophie is as excited as I've ever seen her, and we're all excited for folks to see what we have planned for 100. And yes, Bobby is staying on as editor. So a lot to look forward to. 2020, 2021. IDW Turtles is moving on. So definitely am looking forward to seeing what happens going forward. 96 just came out, so we got 97, 98, 99, and 100. So I've been catching up on the comics, so I definitely plan on being caught up by the time 100 comes. So probably do a spoiler cast on 100, much like we did for 50. Years ago. So look forward to that. I'm not going to go through all the comics release schedules because I don't think anybody likes that anyway. But as always, go to tmnt-ninjaturtles.com for that's what we use Richard's site. It's fantastic. So go check that out over there. So with that being said, let's quickly talk about some movie stuff. I mean, obviously the biggest movie thing that has happened lately is Batman and TMNT, which we briefly discussed it when we were together.
Right.
This is one of the best Ninja Turtle movies ever created. I think it's safe to say that. I don't want to say it's the best. I don't want to say it's
not the best.
I think it's safe to say it's not the best ever. But that being said, it is a fantastic film, and it is one of the best that we've ever had. It's a and of course it's made by DC. So
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
83% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, which, I mean, you take Rotten Tomatoes with a grain of salt, but still, those are still really high scores.
Yep. IGN gave it a 8.2 out of 10. Comics Beat Review has got a great review of it. It's a fantastic film. I don't know what else to say. It's available now. You get it on digital, Blu-ray. It's a fantastic film. It's different than the comic, than the Volume 1. It follows a similar storyline, but it's different enough to where you're not going to be spoiled if you have read Volume 1. I like that it didn't follow Volume 1 exactly, because it was like watching a new story. You kind of got a concept of what this was going to be right off the bat with the shuriken into the skull. Mm-hmm. It was one of those kind of moments where you're like, oh, this is going to be one. Oh, okay, this is a different kind of thing here. It's fantastic. I don't want to, because obviously I don't want to spoil it for anybody, because I hope people have watched this. If you haven't, stop listening to us and go watch this movie. This movie's fantastic. I don't think it's available for streaming anywhere, like any of the
not on any major streaming app. You can find it online.
You can get it digitally. You can buy it digitally. You can buy it on Blu-ray. It's highly, highly, highly suggested. Were there moments in the movie that stuck out for you?
Probably the highlight for me was when Batman fought the Shredder.
Yeah.
That was just that. I mean, that's what dreams are made of, man. Like, you have.
Yeah.
What was beautiful about it is, even with between the Turtles and Batman, you could tell the difference in fighting style.
Yeah.
They didn't just like. That's why DC movies really they pay attention to detail. It's so easy to just, especially if there's just a huge brawl going on, to just continue the same fight. Like, it doesn't matter. People are just punching, people are just kicking, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. There's nothing unique about it. There are specific moves and that are specific just to Batman, to Shredder, to the Turtles. Things that are unique, that that aren't just, it's not just a beat 'em up. And that to me was pleasant to see. It wasn't just punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick, punch, kick. There was so much more to it. And it really highlighted each individual fighting style. So that was probably the highlight for me.
The gauntlets, where they were both using their gauntlets, because they both have them. It was so visceral. Like it felt like it was, you were watching a live action fight scene. It was so it did kind of bring back to something like the Daredevil series, where it was kind of like gritty, like raw, like just they were like really like seemed like they were really like kicking the what out of each other. So
yeah, like I'd be good with a turtle series with those turtles.
Yeah, and let's just mention that, right? Hey, Shredder looked like Shredder. The Turtles look like the Turtles. Batman looked like Batman. Like they all just. They were just the characters, and they just had a great story, And
Batman's one of those characters, that's how many different Batmans have there been in its storied history, right? And there have been so many different versions, so many different styles of Batman. But there's been one thing that's been constant throughout its entire, since Batman's entire run. You can always identify who Batman is.
Yeah. Yep.
Every single time. That's you can't tell me that's Shredder in Rise of the TMNT. I have no idea who that is whatsoever. You cannot tell me it's Shredder.
Yeah.
The Turtles are identifiable because they have bandanas that tell me who they are, and they're wielding weapons that are similar enough that I can make that out. But you can't take iconic characters from a franchise and just say this isn't even they're. You know what? It's fine. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just going to leave it at that.
The amount of again, I don't want to spoil anything because if you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, if you've seen it and maybe you didn't notice, but the amount of Easter eggs.
Oh, so many
in this movie. They're everywhere, and they're fantastic. I will include a link to the Easter eggs. That way, if you've seen it and you wanna look at the Easter eggs, we'll have a link in the show notes for a list of them. But I don't want to get into them here because it's fantastic when you notice them and you weren't spoiled into it. You just kind of anyway. Fantastic. Highly recommend it. Let us know what your favorite parts of the film are. I really enjoyed that Mr. Freeze fight scene. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I really did. I really enjoyed that. Where they were in like the lab there. It was good. Wanted to mention this. This is a video I found on YouTube, a relatively new one, by Justin Scared. And he lives in this is a guy that lives in New York City, and he basically knows the location of a lot of the different filming locations from the first and second movie, and so he kind of brings you to those locations now to show you what they look like now and how a lot of the little details are still there. So pretty cool. So check that out. Topic of the show. We'll save that for the end. Let's get into some mutated messages.
Sounds weird when he says it.
Sounds weird when you say it.
Mutated messages. We got one from Bert the Stormtrooper. He says, I'm absolutely loving these new TMNT figures. Gorgeous works of art all the way around. Beautiful, fun figures. These are the NECA animated figures. I think these came out to Target, I think.
Yeah.
And it's got the 4 turtles, Krang, Shredder, and the 2 foot soldiers. It's got a great photo here. Rocketman LP, he wrote in about the 1990 film commentary. He just said, awesome, thanks for sharing. I wonder if the German cut is shorter because it seems like he's getting to the scenes before the U.S. version gets there. Yeah, I think I had received something else about this. I don't know if there's a difference in the speed maybe between the German cut and the U.S. cut of the film. Because, I had heard some other people saying that, the time kind of seems to separate, with the commentary over time. So the only thing I had to do is I just, paused and let it kind of resync up. So Virgo Legacy says, appreciate you guys for posting this, again, referencing the commentary. I grew up with this movie almost 30 years ago, so it's always a treat to watch it with the commentary. Absolutely agree. Zach Norris at ZOSOTMNT. Serious question for my fellow Ninja Turtle nerds. Are we currently in a golden era of TMNT media and merchandise? I did not say... I did not agree that we were in a golden era. I would say we are in a... I think I said we were in a transition era. There's certain aspects that are very good and certain aspects that are being worked on. Let's call it that.
But I think all across the board, even areas that are good, like the IDW series, is still in a transitionary period. We got a new turtle eclipsing the 100th episode issue. Thank you. Here shortly. With potential Netflix releases for some things. I think transitionary is the perfect, but that's what happens. That's what happens. It happened a little too long. Here's the good thing, guys. The good thing is that we're transitioning, but we're still continuing to get a steady flow of turtles. That didn't happen for,
that's true.
Back in the day, it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. We had 5+ years sometimes where we didn't have anything going on related to the Turtles. And right now, everyone that grew up with the Turtles, is in their 30s typically, and now they're starting to cater to us. So I think they're starting to realize that, which is why we had those conversations earlier, why they're starting to have talks and considering releasing darker series on Netflix and things like that. Yeah. Transitionary is probably the best way to really put it. We're not in a golden era for sure. Right now, merchandise is for the current series is not good. Yeah. I think, as far as
older collectors are being rewarded now, but it's definitely doesn't have the full market capability that it could have.
Exactly.
And I would say I don't think we can be in a golden era if we don't have a serious video game release. We need that. We need a. I don't say we have an animated series, regardless of the popularity of it. There is one, but I think we could definitely use the Netflix series or something along those lines. Collecting, we just mentioned that. Comic books are off the chain right now, and TMNT movie is definitely in the works. So definitely transition right now. But we need movie. We need some things. We're close, and they're not far away. Again, the money's on the table. It's waiting. It's waiting for Viacom. It's sitting there. All you gotta do is reach out and grab it.
I think golden era. I think in order for us to achieve a golden era, the Turtles have to stop being reliant on the '87 series, or any of its predecessors, because, we're talking about getting a movie. We're talking about comic book series, which is that's great, that's new. But when we look at a lot of the merchandise, a lot of the collecting, these are old figures. These are figures based on the '87 or '87 series or the 1990 movie. These aren't new Turtles. Not anymore. Not currently. So we need to for us to be for it to be considered a golden era for me, that we have to not necessarily forget its predecessors, but we can't be overshadowed by the past, which is what's happening now. Have we talked about collecting news for Rise at all? Is NECA doing anything for Rise or any of these companies doing Rise? No, they're not. There's no reason to. There's nothing. They don't have the ratings to support it, and they don't have the toy sales to support it. So until we can have a version of the Turtles that's significant enough to overshadow what the past has brought us, we can't be in a golden era.
I concur. Couldn't have said it better. David at Sky of October, he says he found April O'Neil's jumpsuit in New York City. It's basically in a storefront. It looks like April O'Neil's jumpsuit. So, that's exactly what it looks like. So that was pretty funny. It's next to a subway. You can tell. And this was Brian C.J. Hammond on Twitter. He basically sent in some artwork from what Kirby was going to be in the fourth film if they had ever done it, and just kind of sent it out that does not look bodacious. Yes, that would have certainly been something. So that's it for mutated messages. So I'll mention. We did get a iTunes review. This was from T.I. Calman 2000. He says, Turtle Power Forever. This show is great for any Turtle fan looking to stay current with all the latest Turtle news and share the excitement and laughs with the hosts who keep the show entertaining throughout. Thanks, guys, for putting out such a great show, and would highly recommend this show to anyone looking for a great Turtle great Turtle podcast.
Isn't that Tickleman? It's Tickleman.
Tickleman. Ticalman. Tickleman. Tickleman. So if you remember in our last episode, I said whoever was going to be leaving us a review, all the reviewers, I'd put their name in a hat, and someone would win a retro Turtles action figure, carded, and from our, thanks to Nickelodeon for providing that. And, Tickleman was the only one, so he gets the figures.
By default.
By default, he wins. So I will be reaching out to Tickleman 2000 to get his address to send that his way. So that's all we've got for this episode of the Turtle Power Podcast. So
please, a moment to reflect.
Definitely want to talk about the future of the show here. So if you remember in our last episode, we were trying to do this whole storyline where Darby and Alex were going to have this blood feud, and they were going to fight on the show, and there's going to be like Cuddly Cowlick was going to be there calling the Intergalactic Wrestling Federation, but it never worked out because Darby works all the time now.
I don't know if that's really factual. I just feel like he's just too lazy to do anything, but that's just me.
He's a big shot there at NBC.
Bro,
News.
We have kids. You,
I know,
are a rocket scientist for NASA.
Yeah. We have. I think the big difference is we work different schedules because he works 11 p.m. news. And we are asleep by 11 p.m.
To be fair, we are recording we started recording at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. But I know he's got to get there early, and he's got to get the script ready and all that stuff. He's doing big things. I'm glad he's.
I'm pretty sure all he's doing is making sure the mics are charged, making sure
he's got a lot of mics to check. There's
so many.
There's so many mics. You got the two at the desk. You got the sports guy. You got the weather guy. That's like four. You got four mics to check.
He's working the teleprompter. The rest
he
of the
is.
time.
He does work the teleprompter. He's got to make sure the teleprompter says everything. He's the guy that if they put the question mark in the
question mark,
that's on him. Damn it! Who left the question mark at teleprompter? Yeah. So we were going to do this whole thing, but yes, with us with kids, I've got 2 now. Alex says he's got 1, and Darby's got. I'm sure he's got kids somewhere, as he's now known to Kevin. I love that. That's how Kevin remembers him. Oh yeah, you're the guy that's got the unwed children. So it's obviously it's been tough for us to record. Basically, the only chance for me is if I'm outside the house, which is very rare these days. But because we got rockets to launch in the Cape, I just happen to be at JSC, which is the first time I've ever had to come here. So with that being said, we're going to be doing a little bit of a format change with the show. Basically, we're going to kind of do these more ad hoc. Take you behind the scenes a little bit. A huge portion of the show is all of the prep, and you guys would have no idea how much time I spend collecting show notes, organizing, scheduling. The recording is really the shortest part of all of it, to be perfectly honest. And then you got all the
only part I show up to.
Yeah. Dude, it's so nice. When I did the ones with WWE Radio and TMNT Minute, I just show up, I record, and I'm done. It's fantastic.
That's how I feel.
Oh my God, it's so awesome. I was like, oh, this is how it is. Oh, this is great. So all of that, the editing, all that, it takes so much time. And so, not to say that we're not going to do these types of shows ever again. We're probably going to try to do these for bigger episodes. So, God willing, there's another, TMNT movie that comes out to theaters. And we can do a big, show about that. Or maybe we'll do one for issue 100, once that comes out. Kind of more big situations. But in the meantime, we're going to do some more experimental type episodes where, for me personally, I plan because we talk about turtles at work every once in a while because I'm kind of known as the turtle guy and the Star Wars guy and that's probably about it. The tall guy, guy with the long hair. Which thank you for not saying anything about my hair. It's in a little bit of an awkward stage. The sides are not quite long enough. The top's definitely long enough.
You literally have the same haircut as your daughter.
Yes, it's fantastic. I'm there with her in spirit and in physical forms. Hair.
It's fine. It's fine.
It is fine.
It's fine. It's 100%.
It's so just It's I used to have the top knot, and I'm transitioning to full man.
Are you insecure about this?
I'm enjoying my hair while I've got it. It's not going to be much longer.
Hey, I don't understand that because I don't have any. But
well, you keep it nice and tight. So what's the longest your hair? What's the longest your hair's ever been?
I used to be able to grow it out completely.
Yeah.
But I never did, because it just wasn't my style. And it wasn't in style at the time. Yeah. But hey, you know what? As long as you're not fashioning a man bun, bro, I'm good. You got the whole surfer.
Yeah.
You got you know what you got? You got the Greg Sipes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. I do have that organized right now. That's very true. Yeah, because I don't. That's been the big thing is that we're talking. Welcome to Hair Talk. I used to do with the top knot. I would always pull it back, but since growing it out, the only time I pull it back is if I'm running, just to keep it out of my eyes. And really, that's it. That's the only time I ever pull.
Can we stop? Can we just stop?
Anyway, so this is what the Turtle Power Podcast is transitioning into. It's going to be Hair Talk with the turtles.
I don't feel like I'm qualified, but okay.
You can talk about Eva's hair. You can talk about her hair because she's got some great locks. So.
She's got more hair than I do.
Well, I hope so.
Well, I mean, she's 20 months old.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Which okay, so are you the type that says, "Oh yes, my daughter is 73.2 months old"?
No. Once you get to 2 years, you're done. You're done with.
Is it okay? So I wasn't sure what the cutoff was because I really just say a year and a half or 2.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, once you get to 2 years, the month thing is totally done. And it's weird because I'll say, like, I want to say she's like 2.5. Which isn't even like appropriate because she's like the size of a 3-year-old because she's gigantic. She's not even technically 2.5 yet, but she's but it's a whole thing. But yeah, once you get to 2, the months are done. Yeah, she'll be 2 for a year then. So you can say 2.5, but most of the time I just say 2. I just say she's a giant 2. This is basically what the Turtle Power Podcast is going to turn into. No, that's not true. We're going to talk turtles still, but it'll be more like I mentioned, I'm kind of the turtle guy at work, right? So we might be having lunch and somebody wants to talk turtles. Oh, here comes the phone. It's popping out and it's recording. Let's talk turtles. It's going to be kind of those kinds of situations. Or just solo things. If I'm thinking something turtles, maybe I'll just record something on the way home or something like that. Individual topics or something like that. And this is for me and for Alex and for Darby, for all of us to do. And so whenever they record something, they're going to send it to me and then I'll post it. So the thorough show notes. These are probably going to go the way of the dodo. It's so much time putting these together, but it's a little bit of a labor of love because it keeps me up to date with what's going on. But at the same time, it is so much. There's so much work to do. It's every day. But we will have them for the bigger episodes when we do those. So we're not going away. We're just going to be changing in the interim, and then we'll have our big shows when there's big things happening. So, sound good?
Are you asking me or them?
Yes.
Yes. No, I mean we kind of talked about it before.
Yes, we did.
That's perfectly fine. It'll kind of I dig it just because honestly, as far as timing. We also, not only that, but every time we sit down to record, assuming that everything technically goes right, which it does when it's just Ryan and I, but if Darby pops in, then it's, who knows, it's a crapshoot. Yeah. But it just works with a busy schedule. And we're like Ryan said, we'll still have the bigger episodes, but there's going to be probably more time between them. Than there has been, unless obviously something crazy happens where we'll have to get together, just to put something together. But it's going to be. I'm down with it. It'll kind of allow us to kind of focus on some of the topics that we like to focus on anyway, as well. So. If I wanted to talk a little bit more about video game news or just video games in general or video game history, then I can do that, and just shoot it over to Ryan and he can upload it. If I wanted to do bring back character spotlights, which I was kind of thinking about, what if I highlight a character every month or something like that?
That'd be great. I'd love to listen to those. Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. So, it just kind of opens us up and allows us to do actually a lot more than what we're actually currently doing. Which is nice as well. So I think it'll allow us to provide more content than we're actually providing now with less time involved. So
yes, I agree. So that's the plan moving forward. Definitely wanted to give a shout out to I know we didn't even talk about Darby at the beginning of the episode. So, but yeah, he's not dead. He's still around. I wanted to give a shout out to all the other Turtle podcasts out there. Of course, beyond the Turtle Power podcast, you got TMNT Minute. I mentioned them. They just actually just today, I think, released an episode with a very long interview with Sophie Campbell, actually. So talking all about the future of the IDW series. So I'm looking forward to listening to that. Turtle Soup. They've been talking about the 1994 figures. I think that's where they're at right now. It was cool. They were talking about the Apollo Turtles figures, which I have the Apollo 11 RAF, yeah, and that just happens to be where they were at, which right around the 50th anniversary of the landing. So, Turtle Flakes, I mentioned them earlier. They just had a great interview. TMNT Dare Talk just did he's been keeping up with the comics, so he's been talking about the comics releases lately. Of course, that's the English version, and he's still going on with the German version as well. Shellheads just did a episode where they talked about a bunch of different fan-made TMNT projects. So they talked about that Casey Jones fan film. They talked about the TMNT Odyssey comic. And then Booyaka Show is back. That was out for a while, but he's back recording. He just did one on the Road to 100 for IDW. And it looks like Bassam and Cranny are back at Turtle Power Pod. Looks like they just got done covering the Season 5 episode, The Turtles and the Hare. I think that was the first episode of that season. And, so I guess Turtle Tracks hasn't had any new episodes. Their last one was with Kevin Eastman. So looks like there hasn't been any new ones from Turtle Tracks. So, and then, I don't think there's been any other updates from Podcast and Half Shell or Ninja Turtle Power Hour, but... so that's I think that's going to be it for this episode of the Turtle Power Podcast. Bringing us out is going to be a great remix of the Neon Knight Riders by Remy Q. Yeah, this was fun. Alex. I miss doing this, and but I know we'll be able to do it again in the future. And maybe when you're here, maybe we do a little live video at the museum. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Neon Knight Riders. That was Turtles in Time.
Yeah,
that was when you're
surfboard
surfing. While hoverboarding.
Hoverboard. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, that was plaguing me. No. I think guys, seriously, the new setup is going to be great. There's going to be, I honestly think there's going to be more content. You'll be able to listen to more Darby because I'm sure he'll be able to just record on his own time. You'll get to listen to his really crappy audio, and it'll be great. No, it's going to be fun. We're still going to get together. We're still going to record. It's just not going to be as often.
Yeah, the combo thing is often, but we'll have some more content released just kind of ad hoc with various random episodes. So, but yes, I think there's a lot of things on the horizon here for Turtles, as we talked about in this episode. So I think we're all excited to see what's on the forefront here.
Yep.
So with that being said, thank you once again for joining us on the Turtle Power Podcast, and we will talk to you next time.
Love you guys.
program is powered by Tascam. Tascam's Mini Studio Creator US42 is your new personal production and online broadcast studio featuring a professional quality audio interface and a number of unique real-time effects. The Mini Studio Creator delivers everything you need for your podcast or webcast. Find out more at Tascam.com, part of the Gibson family of brands.